Here's a foolproof, non-scientific way to get very strong. Mostly the reason we don't get strong is we lift weights in spurts, and then months goes by and we don't lift. The reason is we get burned out, or you have some big weightlifting program you can't stick to, and then you quit. Then 3 months goes by and you go, I'm going to do it again. Then pretty soon, all this time goes by, and years have passed, and you've been on this little roller coaster. What we like to do is this: lift weights twice a week. Monday, Thursday is a pretty good thing. That way, if you wrestle Saturday, you had a couple of days of recovery. So you do one chest exercise, one shoulder, one back, one leg exercise. That's it. That's all you're required to do. And you're required to try to lift within 20 minutes or less. Now, if you're really into it, then you can say, well, I feel like lifting. Well, go ahead and do 2 or 3 lifts per body group, for body part. We like to have 5, so I'd have 5 chest exercises. It can be bench press, incline bench, push-ups, dumbbell flies, dips. There's more, right? But so write down about 5, maybe more. Pick one, right? And if you're really into it, pick 2 or 3. And if you're really into it and you want to do some wrist curls and calf raises, go ahead. But when you're not, don't do it. Get the hell out of there. All you're required to do is, they're called multi-joint movements, because more than one joint is moving at the same time. So doing curls means only your elbows are moving. That's isolating just your bicep. But if you do, squats, now your hips and your low back and your knees and your ankles are all articulating, and you're encompassing more body parts, right? Muscle groups, I guess you could say, actually. So if you have a 4 to 5 to 6 day a week weightlifting routine that's 2 hours long, you have, so many reps and sets of everything, you're not going to do it. We are wrestlers, we're not bodybuilders, we're not power lifters. So give yourself a weightlifting plan that you can stick to, and 2 days a week, do it, right? So I might run down there and say, I feel like lifting. Or maybe I don't feel like lifting, but after getting my chest, shoulder, back, and legs in, I feel good. Music's good, right? You're like, man, I'm going to stay and lift. Well, then you can do another exercise. But what we like to do is this, and I still do this, because I'm very busy, obviously. Almost 50 years old. I work tremendous hours. It really is a time thing. So 2 to 3 days a week for me, I go in my basement. I'll do bench press, then military, then bench, military, bench, military. So I went back and forth, back and forth, back and forth, right? That is called a compound set, if I remember correctly. Some people call it superset. I think that they have it backwards. I believe that's a compound set. So then I'm done. Then I do pull-ups, and then I might do deadlifts. Pull-ups, deadlifts, pull-ups, deadlifts. I go. If I feel like lifting, I might do, I might come back and do dips. Then I might do side raises for my shoulders. Then I might do walking lunges. And then I might do bent over dumbbell rows for my back. So I did another exercise, right? But it's easy when you only have to lift for 25 minutes twice a week. It's easy to stick to. And what you say is, well, isn't it better to? Well, yeah, it's better. It's better to do a lot of things. But right now, you haven't been lifting. If you were a dedicated lifting person, you wouldn't be watching this video. So let's say that doing it my way, you're only going to be maybe 80% as strong as you could be if you dedicated 2 hours a day, 5 days a week to lifting. But when are you going to ever get a chance to wrestle, right? So you're a wrestler. You're not a weightlifter. Right? A power lifter who's world-class power lifter doesn't wrestle 12 to 14 hours a week. No, he lifts weights, okay? So you're not going to be as strong as you could be if you only dedicate yourself to wrestling. But that's not, you're not as good in football. If you're a professional baseball player, you're like, well, holy cow, I'm not as good of a football player as I could be. Well, no, duh. You don't play football, but you shouldn't. It's stupid, right? You don't want to play football. You want to wrestle. Or you want to play baseball. You're on TV. Play baseball, right? So in wrestling, Don't look at what's not taking place as a reason to like talk yourself out of it. You're not supposed to be as strong as a power lifter. You're supposed to be a world-class wrestler. Get back on the mats, right? So if you use that program, you lift twice a week and you pick one body part and you do one exercise per body part. You only do 4 lifts and you compound set those and you try to get out of there within 20 minutes to 25 minutes. You're going to be amazed. Now, if you say, should I do light sets or high reps, 3 sets of 5, 5 sets of 5? Should I do burnout sets? Should I do 3 sets of 30 like the bodybuilders? I say, well, do whatever you want. If you feel like lifting heavy, lift heavy. If you feel like lifting light, lift light. If you feel like doing, instead of doing 2 exercises per body part, you feel like doing 1 exercise per body part, but you feel like doing 5 sets, right? You might do a quick warm-up set, that doesn't count. Then you might do a moderate set, 2 really, really heavy sets of 5. Then you might do a set of 20. Then you might do a burnout set. Here you go. So maybe you did both. You did heavy weights and a high rep set and a burnout set. I read something years ago, back in early 2000 something, I don't know, 2005. Looked at the top or the last 5 Mr. Olympias, the bodybuilders. Their workouts were so different. There was nothing in common. These were Mr. Olympia, right? Or Mr. Olympian. I don't know. It's a bodybuilding deal. Mr. Olympia. Their weightlifting programs had nothing in common with each other. I think that, all the scientific, you should do this, you should do that. I don't know. I think no one really knows what the hell to do. The bodybuilders will tell you, I find what works for me. Some have better genetics. They can lift a body part 3 days a week. There's professional bodybuilders who only lift a body part once a week because they don't recover, right? So find what works for you, and you can mix it up a little bit. Let's not get scientific. Follow my advice. Get into the weight room. You're going to blink your eyes. You're going to say, holy cow, I'm strong as hell. And I haven't missed a week of weightlifting in a year. And you're going to feel good about yourself. And you should. But there's my advice. Take it or leave it. Check us out at purlerwrestling.com. If you're interested in training with us, we're right outside of St. Louis. We have our very own $1 million training facility. You can see that on Facebook, or just look at YouTube, Purler Wrestling Facility Tour. There's a bunch of information. Also, our YouTube channel has going on 400 advice videos, so you can check that out too. Good luck to everyone.